Hello learners, I am Dr. Sonu Garewal and today we are going to learn about a process called reading. Well, we all read in our life, mostly magazines, newspapers, novels and of course textbooks. So we can say reading is a habit which we all do, but it can also be considered an art. A writer may have written a text in a particular time, in a particular situation, but the reader who is reading it right now, how he interprets the text is very important. But to understand the process of reading, first we have to understand how reading came into existence. And to know about the existence of reading, we have to first look into the word, a very important word called communication. Well, what exactly is communication? Communication can be termed as exchange of ideas. If you are able to understand what I'm saying, we could say that communication has taken place. Before we talk about the existence of reading, first let us talk about how reading, the very word reading, came into existence. And to talk about reading, we also have to talk about a very important word called communication. Communication simply means to interchange ideas and make them understandable. In ancient times, communication was non-verbal. Combination of special sounds, expressions, gestures, and symbols were used to represent important ideas, which was called like the use of verbal language. Eventually, humans developed letters to represent sounds, marks to represent expressions, and structures to transmit the meaning in a better way. That was called the formation of written language. Now, after having spoken about the existence of reading, let us talk about the process of reading. Initially, reading was perceived as nothing more than the correlation of a sound with its corresponding image. This followed a bottom-up view which considered that reading is merely to learn to pronounce words. With time, it became important to understand not only the words written but also the meaning which they carried. Reading wasn't just the understanding of the literal meaning of words but also included an understanding of meanings implied by the writer's moods, his intent and tone. So we can say that the process of reading is not just reading the words aloud, but also to understand the meaning of the words and what that word implies at. Now we can say that the implied definition of reading is, it is an active process of constructing meaning of words. For example, when we read the word apple, we immediately make a picture in our head of a round red fruit. The code here is APPLE and red fruit is the meaning. So, what is important when we read the apple is not just the sound of the word apple, but also the code that is involved and what meaning does the code convey. Well, now we have understood that to be able to read means not just pronouncing the word, but also to understand its meaning. But along with that, we also have to understand that what is most important is to able to comprehend the meaning of the word that we are reading. For example, apple, blue, tree, happy, sing. Now in this entire sentence, each word has its own meaning. Apple is a fruit that is usually round and red, green or yellow. Blue is a color and tree is a full-grown plant and so on. Until and unless we can generate some sense of the entire sentence, reading has not taken place. Because in the sentence, I repeat, apple, blue, tree, happy, sing. Each word has an individual meaning, but the entire sentence does not make any sense, so therefore we are not able to comprehend it. So, to conclude, we can say that reading is a process of comprehension which involves the knowledge of codes, understanding how they work, what they mean, and how to integrate them to develop some meaning. So learners, today in this video, we talked about how reading came into existence, the process of reading, and to be able to comprehend reading. So, happy reading, learners!